Hi, I'm Emily McDonald. I'm running for president. I'm a junior majoring in economics and international politics, and I'm the current UPUA vice president.
Hi everyone, my name is Terry Ford. I'm the vice presidential candidate. Currently, I'm an at-large representative in the UPUA, and I'm so excited to be running for Emily.
So I think on college campuses is a broad statement, but for Penn State specifically, I think that the 18 recommendations are a great thing that was created by the task force that the president tasked. And I think that other college campuses could really afford to adopt such a task force to evaluate sexual assault and the resources on their campuses. But specifically now, I think students really need to get behind those recommendations, and also using the national campaign of It's On Us to really let students, faculty, and administrators know that it's really on all of us to stop sexual assault and combat it.
At this point, it's great that we have these recommendations, but our job next year going forward is going to be all about implementation and getting the student body behind those recommendations. Well, I would say that I'm happy that the task force is being created to reevaluate the degree system, but it's very important that throughout this process that students are involved. And whether it's the IFC or Panel and Council or UPUA, it's very important for students to always have a voice on this task force. And that's why we're excited to work with both student leaders and administrators in tackling some of the issues facing Greek life today.
Yeah, and as he stated, I think it's great that the task force was created. While it might have been better to be created a few days earlier, I think at least it's being done now. So if we're being honest, Penn State is a lot about the same type of people. While we do have a great culture of diversity at Penn State, I think it's not as great as it could be in terms of numbers. So I think kind of making Penn State more attractive to diverse people from diverse backgrounds by creating a better culture around Penn State and really implementing some of the things that we created in our diversity report, such as having the university and students who aren't necessarily in diverse organizations recognize all the events going around campus by utilizing the Penn State news outlets and things like bringing diversity to the Board of Trustees so that when students look at Penn State, these are things that are being really capitalized onto them.
We also want to be proactive in addressing insensitivity on campus, and one of the things that we want to do is incorporate social media etiquette training into both new student organization training and first-year seminars, just to educate students on what is appropriate for social media and just to remind them to be mindful about what they say because it might be offensive to other students.
So one big thing is a continuation of the roundtables that we've created. So on our biggest initiatives, like the borough, the mental health, and sexual assault, we've created roundtables with relevant student organizations to come sit with us and help us, as the UPUA, decide how to address these issues. And also, I really think that it's important that we make ourselves available to students, and one of the biggest ways we're going to do that is through the overhaul of our What to Fix program. Currently exists, but not a lot of students know about it. So in the overhaul of that, we want to ensure that students are recognizing it on social media, and also we'll have a town hall where students can come in and kind of express grievances, and then hopefully, come April, they'll remember, if something comes up where they're annoyed about or they want to get their input into UPUA, they'll remember I can go online to this What to Fix program and get my voice in there. Number one biggest problem is hard, but I think mental health is a huge issue for students because, as these 4 years go along, we're all looking for jobs after and we're trying to move on with our lives, and mental health can be something that's really detrimental to that process. And I think it's on Penn State to really help students and recognize what resources are available, whether we need to increase them, what's causing these problems, and how we can better help students who are facing these issues.
Right. And a lot of times you find that certain issues like mental health and sexual assault, they're kind of related. And I think if we can take a proactive approach in addressing one issue, for example, mental health, by creating our task force to analyze what the problem is at Penn State and kind of make a list of recommendations as to how to fix that problem, you can sort of tackle multiple issues at once, and we want to be proactive in doing that.